Sit down, buckle up. It's time for the Cancer Coach Talks. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this edition of the Cancer Coach Talks. I am your host, Leslie Nance, and I'm the Cancer Coach. And tonight I'm going to be talking about how being a control freak can cost you your life. It sounds pretty serious, right? You're like, dang, did she just say that? Did she type that out? Yes, I did. So welcome. Thank you for being patient with me over the last couple of weeks while I've been absent and not here sharing the Cancer Coach Talks with you. We actually, 2 weeks ago, we had a very unfortunate death in our sudden death in our family. My Nana died of a heart attack very suddenly, and she was almost 89 years old. She was going to be 89 years old the following week, and it was very sad and very tragic, and I had to really work through my emotions of that. And then right after that, I was actually on vacation for a week, which sounds so cold, like your Nana dies and then you go on vacation. But I have to tell you that my Nana gave me my love of travel and exploring the world. And she would have been like, you're going on vacation, right? I know that woman well. So now I can talk about her without tears in my eyes and only joy and loving memories in my heart and my mind and my soul. So thank you to all of you that reached out in sympathy and in love. I am in full gratitude for that. Thank you so very, very much for that. So thank you, everyone. So fresh back from a week-long sitting on a balcony, going to a beach, going back to the balcony, and then going to bed. Vacation, really in full relaxation mode. And I did a lot of writing, a lot of inspirational thoughts, and I really took time to fill up my cup. And so tonight I was super inspired to talk to you about being a control freak, because here's the thing that I know about that. I know that my clients that struggle with being so out of control with cancer and having that control freak, part of their personality, that they suffer through cancer more than people who are willing to let go and to allow cancer to teach them something about themselves, or to teach them something about a better way of living even. So that's the topic of this talk tonight. So thank you, everybody, for joining. Please make sure that you follow our page and that you share this information out. You never know who needs it. My name is Leslie Nance. I am a certified holistic nutritionist, a certified holistic cancer coach, and coming up on an 8-year cancer survivor, my very own self. And I teach people how to make their body an inhospitable environment to cancer. And we do that by creating a life that you dream of, right? We do that by creating healing energy in the body from the mindset and through the physical body and through the emotional body and through the spiritual body. And so I think it's really important that we talk about something that is so prevalent, which is that controlling nature that we have as human beings. So does anybody here want to fess up tonight and say, I am a control freak? I like to be in control. That is me double completely. I learned so much about my control freak nature when I was diagnosed with cancer. So I'm going to start off our journey tonight with a little story about myself. So when I was diagnosed in 2012, it is literally raining, not literally raining cats and dogs, but it is pouring rain right now, like tropical rain. It's crazy looking outside, right? So some of you, that's me as well. I do me, right? I know there's so many of us that have this problem. So when I was diagnosed with cancer in 2012, it was a total shock. I woke up one morning in an intimate situation with my husband and find a tumor in my breast. You could feel it. It was palpable. And so I couldn't believe what was happening to me. First of all, I knew exactly what it was the moment that I felt it. And 5 days later, I had a confirmation that I indeed had cancer. And as most of you know, when you're diagnosed with cancer, it's a ping pong whirlwind. It's ping to this doctor, ping to that scan, pong over here, talk to this person. You need to talk to this. You need to do that, blah, 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 blah. And they are expecting you to make expecting you to make decisions very, very quickly. And and I felt so out of control that I was like one of those Garfield cats. They don't do that. Do you guys even know who Garfield is? Okay. But I was like one of those Garfield cats. If you don't, just Google it. You'll see what I'm talking about if you're too young or whatever. But anyway, that's like stuck to the window in the car. I was so freaked out, and I felt so out of control, and that went against every part of my personality that I ever felt good about. I loved being in control. I loved having vacations planned to a T. I loved at the time we had a very thriving retail business. We had an antique store, and Robin still did clock repair, but out of this antique store, we had a thriving business, and I loved controlling every aspect of that. I loved controlling my body and controlling what was happening in my life. And when cancer came along, it was like pulling the drain plug out of my life. It just and my life went down the drain. I just saw it I just stood there and watched it swirl down the drain. And there was nothing I could do to control it. And so I decided to start trying to control it. But actually what happened is I started trying to bully it. I became this big fat bully. I want answers, and I want answers now. And I want somebody, and if you can't tell me why I have cancer, then you better get somebody in here that can. And if you can't tell me exactly what my boob's going to look like when I have a lumpectomy, then you better get somebody in here that can. And I tried to bully my way through the process, and I tried to make things happen. And I tried to be insistent, and I tried to be entitled. And I tried all of these things because I was so out of control. I went the complete polar opposite and really became a bitch. I didn't become a cancer boss. I became a cancer bitch. And I was mean and not so fun to be around while this was going on. And that was not my nature and not my personality. But because I was so out of control, it was like my natural response. And it was not a good one. I watch clients come to me that are grasping at control, and they're bullying everybody around them. They're bullying their doctors, they're bullying their care team, they're bullying their family, they're bullying themselves. They're not being a cancer boss, they're being a cancer bully. That is not the same thing. A boss leads by example. A boss gains control in a civilized manner when things are out of control. A boss takes care of business. It doesn't just simply start pointing fingers and saying, figure it out, figure it out. I have watched people lose their lives because they were constantly bullying their way through a treatment process. Give me that treatment. Give me this treatment. Let's try this. Let's try that. And the doctors are like, well, it's really not effective. I don't care. Let's do it. I'm going to take all these supplements. I'm going to do all these diets. I'm going to buy all these crazy machines. I'm going to do all this stuff and I'm going to control this, damn it. And what happens is they find themselves royally out of control. They're in overwhelm. And anytime you're in overwhelm, you are out of control. And so you cannot be a control freak and expect to heal. Those two things do not go together. Now, that is not to say that you need to relinquish all of your control. That's not to say that you let other people bully you around, like your doctors, or other people's fears. People tell you stories. I know this has happened to all of you at some point. You're like, oh yeah, I have breast cancer. Oh yeah, I have this kind of cancer, that kind of cancer. And somebody's like, oh yeah, my brother's sister's uncle's daughter had that cancer and she died. You're like, how is that helpful? And then you absorb their fear because of that situation. They have all of the fear around that particular cancer. And then you end up absorbing their fear. Their fear jumps off of them like a flea and jumps right onto you. Then you end up dealing with that. And so, but you cannot bully your way through this. You must be a boss. You must pay attention. And if you want control, the number one thing, if you feel so desperate for control in your life, the number one thing and the number one solution I can offer you is to work on self-control. Having self-control is one of the best healing modalities in your body. Self-control to use food as information to help you heal. Self-control to be gracious to the nurses and the doctors that deal with cancer patients every day. Self-control to make the decision that you need to change in your life, that something's got to give. That you must change something, or one, the cancer is never going to leave, or two, it's gone and it's going to come back. You must, if you need control, then you must focus on self-control. And that is ultimately, through the process, what I found out is that if I could exercise some self-control, and I can't pinpoint the time and space that happens for me. Actually, I can, but it wasn't anybody telling me that I needed to do that. What happened is that we were on vacation in Hawaii, and it was always the joke in the family. Leslie gets cancer and she goes on vacation. I mean, because I love to travel. And so, but we were on vacation in Hawaii, and I had some downtime. I took a break from cancer. I stepped away from everything that was happening in my life. I went surfing. I played in the ocean. I laid in the sun. I ate great food. I met some amazing people and just let myself absorb the goodness in life. And I was sitting on the beach the night before we were supposed to leave. And when I got home, I knew I was faced with the decision. Do I do chemo? Do I not? Do I have a mastectomy? Do I not? I needed to make some massive decisions when I got home. And like 2 days after that, and I hadn't made them yet. And I was sitting on the beach, and it just all started filling up my file cabinet. After I released control and I allowed myself to have some self-control, my file cabinet started filling up, and my mind and body and everything started to align to what my healing pathway was. But I was never going to be able to do that had I not allowed myself the journey to understand that I need more self-control. Fortunately for me, what that led me to was here with you guys. That self-control led me to working with people who have cancer, to helping people transition through these processes, to help them heal their lives and heal their bodies. And so it was a massive step So if you're a control freak and you just feel like you just need control back in your life, then you need to focus on self-control. That's where it becomes very, very important. That's where you manufacture change. That's where you're finding healing. I wrote down something today as an inspiration from a phone call I had earlier today. And I was actually getting ready for my shower and okay, TMI, but I had been for a swim and I had been for a swim and I was getting ready to get in the shower and I had already like gotten completely undressed and I needed to come back to my office, which there's this huge bay window. So I can't come into my office without clothing on. And I needed to write something down like right then because it just popped into my mind as an inspiration from a conversation that I'd had with a client. And I wrote this down. Our strong desire to be cancer-free actually gets in the way of our healing. We become impatient, we become impractical, and we become impossible. I'm going to read that one more time. Our strong desire to be cancer-free actually gets in the way of our healing. We become impatient, impractical, and impossible. And when you apply that to a cancer journey and you think about being impatient, I want to heal, I want to heal, I want to heal, I want to heal, I want to heal. If you're impatient, you begin to force things to happen. You begin to force moving forward instead of allowing yourself to take measured steps towards healing. You begin to force something to happen, and that never turns out well. I don't know how many times in my life that I have ever tried to force something and it turned out so crappy and so bad, and I had to undo the whole big mess that I had made. You become impractical. Your expectations get way out of whack. Your expectations of doctors, of yourself, of your friends, of your family. I had a client a couple of weeks ago. We were talking and she was complaining about her husband. And she was saying, he could help me around the house. He's retired. He could do this and he could do that. And he just doesn't do it. And it just makes me so darn mad. And I said to him, I said to her, I said, have you told him that you need that kind of help? Well, he should just know. Oh, okay. So your husband's a mind reader. She was being impractical. She was expecting her needs to be met without communicating what she needed. That's impractical. Same with your doctor, same with your family, same with yourself, same with everything. If you become such a control freak that you become impatient, impractical, then those two things mean that you are impossible. You're impossible to deal with. It's going to be impossible to heal. It's going to be impossible to get the things that you want in life. It's going to be impossible to even be happy when the cancer is gone. You won't be able to celebrate because you'll always be looking over your shoulder thinking it's coming back. Because you can't control that. There will be so many things that you find impossible, so many doors that slam in your face, so many perceptions that you have and expectations. You must relinquish a little bit or even a lot, depending, that's relative to the person. I needed to relinquish a lot of that control and turn it into self-control. Lord, help me accept the things that I cannot change and the courage to change the things that I can. That's the part of the serenity prayer. And I always screw it up like every single time, but whatever. You can Google it. So, there are things that you can't change. You just can't change them. The environment in the world right now sucks. Humanity sucks right now. We're doing a really poor job. We can't change that right now. All we can do is exercise self-control and control the things that we can. And the one thing that you can always control is yourself. So that's all I have for you tonight. That was a quick one. Jeez, oh, Pete. That's all I have for you this evening. That's what happens when I don't have a big list of notes. I only have one little thing written down. So I'll take some questions. If you guys have questions, if you need some help, it doesn't have to be on this subject. It can be anything to do with cancer. I'm happy to try to help you as much as possible. If this resonated with you and you feel like that you're missing a piece of the puzzle in your cancer journey, then I'm happy to help you look for it. I'm happy there to be there to support you and love you through this process. I am a professional cancer coach. And if you don't know what that means, you guys, by the way, type in your questions now while I'm talking, because it takes a minute for them to show up. And I'll go back through and read the comments. But I help people heal their lives so that cancer does not have a place to hang out in. And it's not all about, just ridding the body of disease. That is a product of the work that I do. That's a probability of the work that I do with my clients. It's always a possibility with the work that I do with my clients. But if you are looking to heal something deep inside of you, and I'm not talking about going back to, like in therapy where they take you back to what your best friend did to you in 7th grade when she stole your boyfriend and, it ruined you for the rest of your life. I'm talking about the present and understanding how to control yourself in a way that leads you to what you want most. And if that is something that you're interested in, combined with nutrition, combined with mindset work, combined with heart set work, which is the emotional side of those things, and cancer has put you completely out of balance and out of control, then that is how I help people. So if that interests you, please, please, please reach out to me. The first phone call is free. The program is not. Just so you know, I like to set expectations. The first phone call is to establish, can I or can I not help you? I just spoke to a woman right before the Facebook Live, and I pointed her in a direction to get the help that she needed. We talked for an hour, and I pointed her in a direction to get the help that she needed. I was not the person to help her. It's not a bad thing. It just means that there was somebody else that could help her more. And sometimes that's what we're discovering. And sometimes I do feel like that I'm the solution to help you. So either way, that first call is completely free. I am very generous with my time and information in those calls. So if that suits your fancy, then please reach out to me. I'm going to go read some comments and questions. So by the way, thank you everybody for being here. Okay, let's go look. Hold on. Coming for you. Here I come right now. Oh, thank you, Anne Marie. That's very sweet. Vacation, rested. That's the look you're seeing. Yes. Thank you, Melissa. Yes, I have to tell you, it was a devastating loss. And I can say it with a smile now. I just learned today that there is Tropical Storm Nana. I don't know where it's at right now, but I was like, well, that suits her just fine, because she was a storm of a woman and she will be greatly, greatly missed. But I plan on carrying her legacy with me until the day I die. So yes. But thank you for your sympathy. I appreciate it. Hello. Oh, a lot of you, right? Control freaks. Yes. Oh, Anne-Marie knows Garfield. Thank you so much. That's probably the image that Facebook will pick to put on the front page of this live video. Is that me going? Anyway. Hello. Okay, let's have a look here. I was just diagnosed 1/20/2020 invasive ductal carcinoma stage 2A. It's really nice to meet you. Thank you. I do not know how to say your name. I'm going to take a stab at it. No, I'm not even going to say it right. Nashea, is that right? Did I even get close? Oh, I bet I didn't. And I apologize. I can't say your last name though, Rodriguez. So it's very nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. I'm glad that you found us. If you need some help, please reach out. Okay, let's see. Dolly Lee is saying, yes, when cancer came, I lost control. Other people made decisions for me. It happens a lot. And sometimes we allow doctors to do that. And sometimes that's not always a great idea. So you're not the only one, Dolly. Trust me, trust me. Yeah. Diana is saying, yes, people do that. I think you were talking about when I was talking about people say the stupidest things sometimes. Jennifer, you were late. 2 points off, 2 points off. I'm just kidding. Hi, Eugene. It's good. It's good to see you. Late workout. Oh, I love it. Good for you. I love workouts. So yes, very strong words. Yes, right. I know. I'll read it again. Outside, our strong desire to be cancer-free actually gets in the way of our healing. Impatient, impractical, and impossible. Those are the things that it creates. I'm going to be writing a whole class on that for my new 8-week course that I'm writing, because that was a very powerful thought. You're welcome, Anne-Marie. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Let's see. I always had the fear of cancer coming back, and it came back. Dolly, if I had a dime for every person that told me that same story, yeah. And I hate that can be a truth, but we do tend to manifest our fears, our the things that we fear the most come upon us. And so we have to check that. Before I was diagnosed, I had a huge fear of cancer, and I had a reoccurring dream that I had to tell my parents that their only daughter had cancer and that she was going to die. And that I had to speak those words to them. I had that reoccurring dream that I was actually doing that over and over and over again about 2 years prior to my diagnosis, which fueled my fear even more. And boom, there it was, showed up in my breast. So yeah. And Marie is saying, Dolly, that is my fear also. Yes, getting control of that fear and using it to work for you instead of against you is always an asset. Yeah. No comment. Sorry. Hello, Terrence. It's good to see you. Thank you so much. Right? Yes, it's good to see you. Oh, look at that. I love it. Thank you. Being patient yesterday kept me in control. Kathy, you are so right, actually. You could have very easily spun completely out of control without having that balance in your life. So I love that. I love that perspective. Good job. Good job. Yeah. There you go. Eugene is saying, don't be impatient. It takes time to heal. 100%, right? Here's a question. All right. I have a question on diet. I was told that a person with cancer cannot eat fruit because of the fructose. What do you think? BS. Complete BS. Sorry. I get so frustrated with this kind of nonsense that people put out there. So here's what happens. People do not use nutrition and anatomy and physiology in combination and holistically. What they do is that they write a diet that serves a purpose, their directives, and they sell that diet. Everything that I do is nothing to do with any of these crazy notions about what it looks like to heal the body with food. It is all practical, biological sense that I use. And the fructose is, and please do not take that my frustration as at you, Dolly, for answering the question. It's the frustration comes from the person that you heard that information from. It just, I get really passionate about it, but it's complete BS. Now, can you overeat fruit? Yes. Are there people out there that are drinking, loads of pineapple juice every single day because some wackadoo said that that's what you're supposed to do? Yes. You can drink too much of anything. You can eat too much spinach. You can eat too many bananas and put the body out of balance. But really what it comes down to is balance. And eating food in that balance that creates healing energy. There is no one size fits all mentality for dieting. I have some clients that are doing very close to a keto diet because of their specific cancer. I have some clients that I have them on completely vegetarian. Right now, Jennifer, she's going through radiation very soon, and she's on a vegetarian diet right now. I have clients that need energy, and so we use energy producing foods. And so anybody who tells you that don't eat this because it causes cancer and don't do this because it causes cancer is full of poop. Bottom line. And I will challenge any of them that want to challenge me on that. Okay. Control yourself, Leslie. Yes. I love you, Kathy. Thank you. Yes. That is tough, right? Trying to have self-control. I totally hear that frustration. And I will tell you, I'm seeing women younger and younger with this type of breast cancer and trying to control life, having small children and going through these processes. And it's very, very difficult. So again, I want to make the offer. If you need more help, you feel like you need more support, then please reach out. So yeah. Babette, you have no patience left. Are you being funny? Or are you being serious? Because if you're being serious, then you need to book a call with me. I'm just saying. If you're being funny, I love you. Thank you, Dolly. I appreciate it. Thank you, Emery. Yes, my Nana was an amazing, amazing woman. Hi, Lindsay. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Oh, goodness. Let's see. I totally agree. Right. I know how it feels, right? There you go. Yeah. It almost destroyed me. I understand. It almost destroyed me too, Christina. I totally get that impression and that feeling that if I'd not gained self-control in the situation, that I would, and became a boss and not, that I would have lost my life. So I hear you completely. Yeah. I was a stage 1B when I was diagnosed, a very aggressive form of cancer. However, that's a whole nother story. You can read more about my story on my website, anystagecancer.com, by the way. Yeah. Let's see. That's right. You need time to heal. That's correct. Yeah. Liz has a question. What about eating dairy? Dairy. So the problem with dairy, it depends on the type of cancer, first of all. So there's no one size fits all. So it depends on the type of cancer. The biggest problem, not the only, but the largest problem, because dairy is a very big topic, is that the quality of dairy is very suspect. And even things that say organic on them, even things that say, clean ingredients or no hormones or whatever, those are still suspect. And so the quality of dairy is really the conversation there. So it's not about do I or do I not eat dairy. It's about choosing the correct quality of dairy when it comes to that. So yeah. That's right. Don't mess with me. Okay. All right. That's all the questions. I still have to make dinner. I have not even made dinner tonight. So I am outie. It's still raining really, really hard out. And so I kind of feel like I want to go play in the rain, quite frankly, although I just washed my hair. I could put on my swim cap and then I could go play in the rain. But if you guys have never, don't do it when there's lightning. But if it's just a nice, regular rainstorm. Oh, nope, there's thunder. I hear it, so I can't. But if it's just a nice little rainstorm without thunder and lightning, by all means, go out and absorb the energy that the rain gives you. It is so cleansing and so amazing. Oh no, it just lightning very close. Yeah, not going out there. Okay, good, because I just washed my hair. But it's so cleansing and so amazing. And it's such a great way to connect with the energy of the planet. And because whether you like it or not, and whether you think it's foo-foo maru or not, our energy, our planet creates energy, and we are a product of that. So making that connection, grounding to that connection of the planet is actually incredibly healing. In fact, there are some alternative methods that use grounding as one of their primary healings of cancer. I believe that you need a lot more, but it's still a really good avenue, and just creating that good energy in the body, because right now more than ever our planet needs healing from humanity. We have a massive blanket of stress because of this virus laying over us, and it's affecting all of our health. Even those of us who are healthy, it is affecting our health. And so do not discount picking up the positive energy from the planet and exchanging that with other beings around you. So love you guys. Have a great evening. I will see you back here next Tuesday. Let me remind you before I leave that Cancer is not your destiny. Love you guys. Bye. Good night, everybody. Bye. So long. Farewell. I'll see you next week.